Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. I'm your host for today's live stream, and my name is Connor. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Let's get right into it and hop into our crypto market overview. So we have a lot of people waiting in our live chat today. Shout out to all you guys from all around the world for being here and supporting Crypto Empire. Smash up that like button on your way into the stream. We do have a value-packed, jam-packed with alpha stream today, so be sure to stick with me until the very end. Shout out to everybody. I'll get to your live chat comments in just one moment. Let's just get this show started. So taking a look at the overall market, we have a very flat weekend. Not much has occurred, and I'll hop into the charts in just one moment and go over what I am seeing, as well as any opportunities and, preparing for the week ahead, because it is Sunday right now and we have a big week coming up post FOMC. A lot more clarity in the market now. Taking a look at the top gainers and losers on the day, we got a lot of green, right? A lot of pumps continuing. I know some people like the gaming coin Karat, it's up 22%. Constellation DAG up 21%, a bit of a legacy layer one. DEAI up 20%, bit of a low cap popular AI coin. See it shielded a lot on Twitter. Some big ones like Pendle up 15%, OXO up 13%. So some AI coins coming to life, which is a good thing to see, as well as some gaming coins, right? Ultra up 11% as well. Blender up 10% of their AI coins. So things are continuing to move. Taking a look at some of the losers on the day, we got a few of them. I recognize Parcel here, Real World Asset Play, and Solana. It's been performing quite well, down 26% today. And a lot of memes are down as well. And this coin GFAL. Remember when everyone was shilling this coin games for a living? I never hopped on this one. Was never really convinced on it, and it just continues to sell off. But anyways, we'll get into some gaming stuff later on. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and address everybody in our live chat today. This is our Sunday live stream, so it will be a bit longer than our intra-week live streams, right? Monday through Friday. Today's the Sunday community live stream, so we'll be here to answer all of your questions, and it will be a bit of a longer stream today. We got Glasshopper77 saying, cheers to a profitable week. Yes, sir. We got Reginald Nunez saying he's ready for this big bull cycle. Awesome. We got Trucker Steve asking about Farmbase Pro. I'm still using Farmbase Pro. If Base does do an airdrop, it will be worth it. If they don't do an airdrop, well, the opportunity cost is basically just holding your ETH on there because the fees are very low. So it's up to you if you want to hold your ETH in there or just hold it spot. But it will be worth it if Base does do an airdrop. That's the way I see it, and I am still using it myself. And speaking of Farmbase, haven't spoken to Dan, who made Farmbase in a long time, but I will reach out to him and see if he wants to come back on the channel here. We had a very good live stream discussion like 6 months ago, and Dan's a smart guy, good guy, so I'd like to have him back on the channel. I'll have to reach out to him. Shout out to King Louie. We got TS as well. And we got GSDW Watchman. What's going on, GSDW? Hope you're doing good. We got All Day Dre. Everybody here in the chat, good to see all you guys. We got Fiat Hunter saying Cat is purring nicely, chilling out for the Binance weekend price action. Or weekend price-wise, Binance listing soon. All right, let's look at Bitcoin, then we'll get into some alts. Shout out to Rigoberto as well. Let's get into BTC here. So on our daily, we're looking pretty good, right? It's been a very slow weekend. Friday, Saturday, now Sunday is our first red daily candle in a long time, since Tuesday or Monday of this previous week. So my thoughts are still the same from our last live stream on Friday. I think it would be quite gracious of the market to give us a little bit of a dip to work with. The market's in a very aggressive trending environment now, right? When Bitcoin trends like this, it doesn't really like to dip much, as we can see from the previous pump. From around, this was in January, right? From 38 grand all the way up to 73 grand. It didn't really give too many opportunities for people to get on board, right? This was a 3% pullback. This pullback was 7%. And before you know it, it was at 38 grand all the way to 73. in a few months' time. All right. So there's a pretty decent chance, in my opinion, that we are entering, or we have started, another one of these very aggressive trends to the upside. And they don't slow down for anybody. So if we are going to have one of these aggressive trends, we can't be looking for too much on a pullback, right? We got to take what the market wants to give us. So that's why I'm looking for 61,350 down to 60,750. All right. This nice little pocket here, as well as the previous week high and the previous range of 4 months. 4 months of price action range low going all the way back to March, right? The bottom of this orange zone at around $60,750. All right. So that's what I'm looking for in terms of a dip on Bitcoin. However, we might just not even get that. It is possible that this thing just continues to pump and it doesn't really give too much of a pullback. Obviously, this is the very bullish scenario. There is a bearish scenario that I've been discussing, and I'll discuss it again right now. And the bearish scenario is that we make a lower high. The bearish scenario is we make a lower high and we actually don't break out past 65 grand. All right, if we go to this chart, it's a little bit clearer here, right? We have this key high at 65K. The bearish scenario is we simply break our daily trend here and we actually resume to the downside. This is possible. And the market is all based on probabilities. There's a chance this happens, but I'd say the chance that we actually continue to pump is greater than the chance of a rejection from this supply zone, a lower high, resulting in more bearish price action, possibly back to the low 50s. All right, 58.5K is our major kind of point of control line in the sand. Above that, we're bullish. Below that, we're bearish. But if we do get rejected here, I can't imagine the emotional pain that many of you guys will feel, right? Because people are just completely cooked. They're fried from the past 6 months, right? Bitcoin wasn't so bad, right? This is Bitcoin over the past 6 months, this parallel channel. But if you look at altcoins, they're all down 80, 90%, like every single one of them. And this really emotionally destroyed people this year, right? We started off really good. March was the local top, and it's been down only on altcoins since then. And, a lot of people just simply cannot handle that anymore, right? So if we do get rejected here, I can only imagine the distraught that will occur in people's minds. And I mean, again, I feel like we're bottom, but it is possible. So I am open to this happening. I wouldn't be shocked if it does happen. I just think it's unlikely. That's the best way I can describe the Bitcoin chart right now. I'm biased bullish. I'm expecting price to break out above 65K and run, but I'm open to all possibilities and scenarios, because as a trader, you understand that the market is always going to be right and anything can happen. Your opinion is basically at the whim of the market. So that's that. Anyways, we had a comment about CAT. We'll go take a look at CAT. And it's pretty slow weekend price action. We did have a break of this local channel last night at around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. We pulled back to this previous high on CAT. Also, the midline channel support here. Looks like my chart isn't loading. Should probably turn my VPN off when I stream, because it does mess with the connection. But what are we going to do? We're already started. Anyways, CAT pulled back to the midline support as well as this previous high. So I would be prepared for something like this, where it comes to the bottom of the channel at like 3.7. And if Bitcoin dips to that 60,750 level, we want to be looking for dips on altcoins. And this is exactly where I would be looking on CAT, right? I would just follow this channel. Sundog, let's see. So yeah, another example of a channel here. I posted this inside of the free Telegram group on Sundog, right? Another channel, just connecting the highs as anchor points here. All right, dragging it down to this low. We have price respecting this trend line, or this parallel channel bottom support line again on Sundog, and this is the first time it has dipped below its Monday low. As you can see with the Monday range, broke out above the Monday high, hit the top of the channel. Now it's broken the Monday low, hit the bottom of the channel. So we're just looking for this to respect the channel and at least pump back up to the midline, which would be a first take profit area. That's on Sundog there. Now, speaking of emotionally distraught, crypto investors just being completely exhausted and mentally drained from this year's price action, you have to be able to adjust on things. Because if we look at the Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame, we need to be able to understand that this price action over here is quite different from all of this. Right? We need to be able to adapt and understand that things are changing right now. We are at the whims of change. And also, if we look at the calendar, which I have right here, if we look at the calendar, the presidential election is going to be on November 5th. Okay, so we are now around 40 days away from the election. Let me get you the exact date, or how many days we're out from that. I think Polymarket should tell us. But this goes right hand in hand with what I've been talking about for a while now. And let's see, how many days until November 4th? That's what I want to know. All right, here we go. I got you something you can't not understand. We are 44 days away from November 5th. All right, 43 days and 14 hours. I've said multiple times here, and you can go look at previous narratives and events to prove this yourself, to show you that I'm not lying here with this data. Around 40 days before key events is when the market starts to price it in. We're 43 days away from the election. This upcoming week is the week where we should in quotations, pump hard, starting, the pump into elections. We may have started it last week with FOMC, but going off of the data of these key dates and narratives, again, it's around 40 days, give or take, which is, 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks until the election. So this week should be the week, theoretically. Anything can happen and the market's very dynamic, but this week should be the week where we really start to accelerate. All right. So with all that being said, it looks like this one over here is in the lead currently. We'll see what happens. I don't really trust polls. I don't really care. But I think a Trump win will be extremely bullish for us. But regardless, with that data in mind, we have to understand that things have changed, and I think it's better to be a bull than a bear right now. And here's a tweet that I thought was pretty funny, and I'm sure many of you can relate to it. So Safu XBT, he says, one day you're going to wake up and realize every single coin on your watch list 10x'd, and you were too pussy to bid because you wanted to catch that extra 10% dip. And there's a lot of truth to this statement, a ton of truth to it. Everybody wants lower. Everybody, or not everybody, but the majority of people feel like they missed this pump, and they're waiting for a pullback, and they want to get Tau at 200 again to buy, stuff like this. There's a really strong chance that doesn't happen, and the market will just continue to leave without you. All right, so be aware of this. If you were scared to buy over the past 6 months, sure, some of these prices, all right, we'll go look at some coins here. Let's go look at some AI coins. OXO is really starting to move now, come out of this bottom. I mean, it's so obvious in hindsight. It's always so obvious. Where did it go? It went to the same exact support that it rocket launched from back in February. It literally just went to the same level that it took a rocket ship from, and now it's aggressively bouncing higher. But anyways, if you've been scared to buy, you have to understand, look at these altcoin charts. You know, OXO is still down. I mean, it's up 70% from the low, but, you know, it's still down substantially from where it was. Tau still down 50%. How much is this down? 37% from the highs. Man, this thing moved quick, huh? Stuff like Acash really hasn't broken out yet. Where's Render? I think FET and Tau are really identical. Or FET's down 54%. So Tau is leading. Tau is going to take FET over. It will surpass it. But the point I'm trying to make here is if you look at many of these projects, many of these coins, some of them haven't moved from the bottom yet. Right? Cubic really hasn't moved too much from the bottom yet. So you're not necessarily like crazy late. AGI Delicium hasn't really moved from the bottom yet. Right? The schematic continuing to play out, just this sideways chop. Sleepless AI is kind of trash. Solidus AI Tech hasn't really moved from the bottom yet. So a lot of these coins haven't moved from the bottom. Render starting to move. But the point I'm trying to make is it's not really too late. And if you're like just wishing for more and lower and lower and lower, you're probably not going to get it. So you kind of have to be content with how things are. Be open to a dip and have some stable coins on the sideline and never one clip your buys. Because if you one clip your buys and it drops another 20%, you know, you're going to be in pain because you can't buy anymore because you just single clipped your entry. So, yeah, I mean, overall, what I'm saying, I'm giving you a really long speech for just dollar cost average into the projects that you like and the projects that you're bullish on. I think that's the best route to take right now for everyone, right? I mean, if you're actively trading, continue to pull profits off, and you can either buy spot or just, you know, use those profits for whatever you want. But for your crypto investments here, like the best course of action in my mind is to continue to dollar cost, just continue to buy. Because it's still there, like a long way to go, in my opinion, and not based off of time, but based off of prices and where I think prices will go here. All right, so basically, don't be a pussy, is what I'm trying to say. Now, we have another tweet that I also thought was pretty funny because I'm sure many of you can relate to this. So, this guy, Ram, he says, "Stop being a Jeet. What hurts you more, that you risked $678 to make $383, or that your bag would be worth $3 million today?" So there's this coin. Which one is it? Mudang. And this is like the hippo that everybody likes right now. Very viral on social media, the Mudang coin. I'm not affiliated with it in any way, shape, or form. It's 52 million market cap on Sol. Just using this as an example. But if you look at this chart, right, it launched on the 10th of September, 12 days ago. And it was below $1 million for like the first 3 days. And then it 50x'd in like a week. Okay. But this tweet is showing how this guy, on like the first day, he bought $678 of this Mudang coin. And he took a profit of $383. If he would have held his coins a week, 1 week, if he held, he would have $3.6 million. This is pain. This is the pain of selling too soon. And I'm sure many of you guys can relate to something like this happening. I've certainly been in the same boat with meme coins where maybe I sell too soon, stuff like that. But you got to believe in something, especially if you're in the meme coin casino. If you're in the meme coin casino, you're there to hit it big. At least I am, right? If I'm gonna try and make $380, I'll go trade perps and I'll make that in a minute. If you're in the meme coin casino playing shit coins, it's zero or hero, literally, because this is what will happen. You get conditioned, you know, to taking. I understand that the meme coin casino is a total shit show, right? There's rug pulls left and right. Some coins never get any traction. There's sniper bots that will buy supply of a coin early, and then, you know, when buyers start to come in, just dump it. It's a war zone, the meme coin casino, which conditions you to, you know, sell early and sell when you have a slight profit. But this is what will happen. Eventually, when you catch the winner, which if you play the game long enough, you're going to catch the winner. Look at my track record, right? I lose a lot in shit coins, but when I hit them big. I hit them big, dog. We're talking hundreds of X's, 50 X's. And I understand that's the game. I understand you have to lose to win eventually. But the point I'm trying to make here is you got to believe. And it's zero or hero with shit coins, at least the way I see it. And this is a perfect example. If this guy would have just held on for another week, he would have turned $700 into $3.6 million. But he took that 380. And now he will regret it. He will live with this for the rest of his life. So a little bit of a Sunday Scaries story for you. Not the usual Sunday Scaries where normies will talk about having to go to work tomorrow. This is the crypto Sunday Scaries version. This dude just led generational wealth, retirement, $3.6 million, even though you can't retire on that in today's day and age. But it will give you, it buys you years of time. It buys you like 20, 30, 40 years of time in your life to do whatever the heck you want. He let it slip through his fingers because he didn't believe in Mudeng. And I didn't believe in Mudeng either then. I didn't even know there was a Mudeng coin then. But it's just a perfect example of how the shitcoin casino works and, you know, the internal battles that you will face if you were playing these coins. Anyways, hope that makes sense. Hope my message is clear for you. Stop being a Jeet. Let's see what's going on with our live chat. We got TS. He says, hey, bro. A big like button. Thank you, TS. Smash up that like button, guys. Kazuya, hey, Connor. Hope you're doing well. Thoughts on 01 Lab DEAI? Yeah, again, Kazuya. This one is really hyped up on Twitter, I see, or X. And I mean, I did some initial research and I'm not like crazy convinced into it. That being said, I would put it in the categories of many other AI low cap coins, right? This is at 37 mil market cap. It's up from the bottom. Man, my computer's being quite slow right now. My toolbar isn't here on Dex Screener to show you a measurement from the bottom. Here it is. It's up from the bottom 100%, basically 95%. So that means it was a 20 mil market cap to 40 mil essentially now. So still low. I would say that this was your bear market bottom accumulation kind of lake. I like to call them. Everything below here. It's now broken out of that accumulation lake. But it's still not too late, right? If this thing's going to say like, I don't know, 10x from here to a 370 million market cap, you know, if you bought it down here, you would have gotten a 20x. But yeah, anyways, in regards to your question, not my favorite AI coin, but I mean, it's such a low market cap and AI is such a hot narrative that it will probably still do quite well. TS says, hey, bro, do you see at least 2 zeros less in cubic price during the bull run? Let's say 0.002. Before I answer that, let me just internalize exactly how much that will be. 200. It's possible. That's like the higher end of my, that's like the best case scenario, 0.0002. That's like 200 grand per billion. That's like the best case scenario that I see happening. So something like that could happen. That's like 100x basically from current price, I believe. My math in the top of my head is off the top of my head is correct. Could happen, but I would be scaling out well before that. TS. We got Z News. He says Bobo Billions. Yeah, so Bobo gave your boy some love yesterday. If you guys follow the official Bobo account, Bobo Coin ETH, I guess they understand that I'm a Bobo believer now. And they like my thumbnail. They did edit it. This was a Bitcoin. They switched it out for a Bobo. And they made my eyes super red. So I look pretty stoned. I was sober in this picture originally, but they made me look like that. But still, I respect it. I respect the Bobo Coin ETH team for recognizing me. And, you know, they're saying the reviews are pouring in. Shout out to Bobo. And if we look at Bobo here, current market cap is 69 million, I believe. So it pumped beautifully out of the out of the manipulation zone starting last Friday, just over 1 week ago. And it's given a nice pullback now. And I think that this pullback will probably be a good pullback to buy in hindsight for Bobo. It's still a low market cap. The idea is Bobo billions. And with a market cap of 68 mil right now, sorry, we got to put an extra zero there. There we go. Let's see. All right, so to $1 billion market cap, we're looking at a 14.7x from current price for Bobo. All right, so if the idea is Bobo billions, and we're going to go to $1 billion market cap, you still have a 14.7x to just 1 billion from current price. And the thesis with Bobo is that it will go, higher than 1 billion, ideally. So I think there's money to be made on this meme coin. And I've been in this market long enough to kind of get a feel for these projects. And talking about organic memes that have kind of like formed a cult, Bobo is that. Bobo is just that, right? You can't ignore the strength of the Bobo community or the Bobo Council, as they call it. It's like a very strong, well-accepted, well-adopted meme that everybody kind of picks up on and understands, and it just has that kind of easy to understand, good meme feeling to it. It's been around, it's well established, and I think that this is one of the better meme coins on the market to hold in your portfolios. And if you look at my channel, it's like one of the few coins that I've made a video on in the past few months. Right, this Bobo video 2 months ago now. But yeah, like I wouldn't ignore Bobo personally. I think it's still a good buy at current price. Yeah, it's not 40 mil market cap like it was down here at the bottom, but again, you still have a 14.7x to a 1 billion market cap currently. So I can see this one hitting that and beyond. Crypto Shark says Ori chain. It's another AI coin. 100 million market cap for Ori chain. So the daily chart, it looks good to me. Immediately, I noticed that price is in one of my boxes that I've had on this chart for, I presume, a long time, because I don't track this coin at all. And I drew these boxes at some point for a reason, and notice how price has come into this lower one, and it's respecting it. So I don't see that as a coincidence at all. This is the daily time frame. Sure, if we check the RSI, yep, there's very strong, obvious bullish divergence here. Price really starting to show some relative strength. And it hasn't really cleared its high. All right, so I see this high right here at 645 for Ori chain is like Tau at 365. When it closes above this, expected to misprice rapidly. Here's your mean. The 200 EMA is at $8. All right, this is a nice gain. That's 35% just to get back to your mean, which is the 200 daily EMA. So yeah, bullish chart. Looks like it did find a bottom down here in this demand zone, this gray zone here on the chart. And you have your resistance to break. So it's a red day right now. If you're bullish on this, I would probably start nibbling in orders. Maybe you retest your monthly open, even though you were well below your monthly open for most of September. So this could be it. This could be the breakout. So I wouldn't fade it if you're bullish on this AI coin, because I have the same feeling I had in September 2023 when Bitcoin was between 20 and 30K. People were calling for 16K. And that's when I really went heavy. Like that's when I made my buys. My serious buy is September 2023. A few weeks later, the market took off and it didn't look back. I feel like we're in a very similar situation right now to back then, 1 year ago, coincidentally enough. 1 year ago exactly, basically. So yeah, if you're bullish on something and you haven't bought it yet, you have to be looking for your entries. You have to have a plan in place, or you're going to wake up and everything will be up 10x because you were basically a pussy and you were looking for an extra 10% dip. All right, don't do that. When these coins move, they go down for months and do nothing. But when they move, they make up for those months of down only in like a few weeks. That's how crypto works, right? You make up for months of bearish price action in a very short amount of time. So that's why like you need to basically pull the trigger. You can't be scared to pull the trigger, especially right now. And look, if I'm wrong and we go to new lows on Bitcoin, I don't want to hear anybody crying. Connor said you have to buy and pull the trigger, right? If you're going to say something like that, just please leave the channel, right? You have to understand that I don't give financial advice. I just say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And that's that. But one thing that I'm looking at right now, there's a lot of coins that have these kind of daily price ranges, and they're all looking to break. So I'm going to show you one that happened on Tau. We went over this extensively. Right here on Tau, remember this exactly, this kind of fractal, this chart pattern. Right, you have a very big daily resistance area. In Tau's case, that's $365. You also have the mean, which I use the daily 200 EMA. You have the mean right at that level as well. All right, this is not a coincidence, right? When the 200 daily EMA lines up with a very key pivot on the chart, it's not a coincidence. And look what happens. Look what happened on the breakout. This is what I want you to really kind of internalize and remember this picture, right? Price came down. It came back to the daily 200 EMA. 2 days it pulled back, and then bam, very aggressive move to the upside. All right, so we know how this, where the market conditions are currently, and we know how this likes to work. So let's see if we can identify one of these setups on another chart that hasn't broken out yet. Come along with me. Let's see if we can identify it. Well, lo and behold, we have the dog with a hat. We have the dog with a hat. And let's notice something, guys. All right, so first of all, what I want you to notice, this is such a money setup in my opinion. I really see this breaking out quite aggressively. But first thing I want you to notice is the ascending trend line, all right? Continuous higher lows. I see this as accumulation when price is continuously putting in higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, right? That means people are buying on every dip and they're holding the floor. It's a rising price floor. We also have an area of supply that also has our daily 200 EMA almost lining up with those key highs. All right, so this is setting up beautifully. We also pumped, we got rejected. We go back to support. We pump back up to the daily 200 EMA in supply. Now we have 3 days in a row of kind of indecision, right? First 2 days were indecision. Now we have a bit of a red day on Sunday. Notice the volume. The selling volume is very low. To me, in my opinion, when there's low selling volume in a very bullish setup, that typically means it's a fake sell-off. It's like a scare off to get the weak hands out. So I'm looking for dog with the hat, dog with hat with, to break out of this quite aggressively. And I'm looking for this to push above the daily 200 EMA, at least to the quarterly open here at 225 approximately. And it'd be nice to see these highs up here at like 275 as well. I would use these as your profit targets. You do have your EMAs directly here at like $2, $1.90. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Dog with hat looks like it wants to break out of its bottom kind of accumulation zone. This thing's been downtrending. I'll give you a time measurement right now. This thing's been downtrending for 170 days, 175 days. But again, similar to Bitcoin, the market structure clearly shifted here. And we had like that exact kind of breakout pattern that happened on Tau here with WIF, which is a leading meme coin. Tau is a leading AI coin. I see opportunity. I see opportunity here. All right, so a little bit of free game for you guys. Even though every live stream we give out free game here at Crypto Empire. which is why if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. But a very clean setup is forming here on dog with hat. Dog with hat, sorry, not with. So if you guys like to trade, you already know what to do. You can sign up to Bitget using my link below. You get some discounts and deposit bonuses and all that kind of stuff. And I think this is a long trade here on WIF. And if you do get the bottom of this current bull flag, by the way, you're right on the 4-hour 200 EMA as well, which is key support. But if you do get the dip to the bottom of this channel at like 150, 155, that's buy more on WIF. All right, so that's what I'm seeing here. A very clean, obvious long trade setup to me. This dip is probably a fake dip. Low selling volume on the weekend. I can see this thing aggressively breaking out from the red supply zone. And again, your first target is going to be the quarterly open at around 225, which is a 30% gain from current price. Now, if this hits, which I think it will, yeah, we'll have a bit of a celebration. But I'm really liking this long setup on WIF. Anyways, let's go continue on with our stream. King Louis says he's bullish on Nakamoto Games, which has been performing pretty good recently. It's back above $1. 105. Pretty similar to WIF. I mean, all these coins, guys, like all of them have very, very similar charts. Bottom trend line, 1, 2, 3. Third time's the charm. Pump, break your daily 200 EMA. Yeah, beautiful move on Naka. And its key pivot high is over here at $1.19. It looks like it hit that a few days ago, but, you know, it looks like the bottom's in for Naka. Okay, so yeah, your daily 200 was tagged. Again, similar to WIF, like it's the same thing. You pump to the daily 200, you pull back a little bit, and then bang, rocket ship off to the races. See you later. Market's really setting up for big pushes across the board here. I'm expecting really hard continuation this week, personally. A bullish week. Austin Craig Lands. Sup, bro? Appreciate your effort and endeavor. Thank you, sir, for your support. We've been going for 3.5 years strong, my man. No slowing down. Miria. It's not my first pick for gaming coins. I would rather hold Naka personally, but you know, you're still kind of in these bottom, and it looks like everything else, but it just hasn't really moved off of these, out of this consolidation yet. But if we're going to move, then, you know, expect it to move at least to your daily 200 EMA, which is quite a bit higher from current price. How would you rate Alex Becker and your thoughts on Subi? How would I rate Alex Becker? So he's extremely successful, and you have to respect what he's done, right? Because he's in his like mid-30s and he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. All right, so you have to respect his hustle and how he plays the game of life. I respect that. Do I like him personally? Nah, I don't really care for him. I mean, yeah, I watch his videos sometimes because they're funny, right? He says some funny. He's an entertainer. He knows what he's doing. His knowledge on crypto is really kind of trash, in my opinion, and he uses his big following to get really good deals and stuff like that. KOL deals, seed rounds, pre-sales. I mean, if he's worth hundreds of millions, I'm not sure why he's playing these shitcoin pre-sales like he does. Some stuff doesn't really add up. But all in all, you have to respect what he's done with his life. There's a lot of mid-30-year-olds that are broke and they're miserable and they got nothing going for them. This guy's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, or I don't know how much he's worth, but so for that, I respect the game. I respect success. Success leaves clues. There's something to learn from everyone who's successful. And there's also something to learn from people that aren't successful, what not to do, how not to act, right? So, yeah, we can learn something from everyone. We can learn something from everyone. Anyway, second part of your question, thoughts on SUI. I mean, it's one of the best performing altcoins right now. It doesn't want to stop for anything. It's coming up to its all-time highs. So, yeah, I mean, SUI's very bullish. SUI's very, very bullish. Let's go to the weekly and just kind of zoom this out a little bit. Excuse me. Get rid of all this. This weekly candle is insane if you think about it, really. This is what's called expansion. Right, this weekly candle is up 46%. And, you know, you're coming into your all-time high resistance supply area. Usually it will at least get slightly rejected before breaking out. But, yeah, I mean, SUI is very bullish. So be looking out for the slight rejection out of the supply zone and then look to buy that if you want to get into SUI, because conservatively, you're probably going to get like $6 to $8, maybe 10, maybe $10 on SUI. Could go higher, but I would definitely be selling before that. This is a VC coin, and you know the VCs were buying this thing at 50 cents when it was there in June, July, and August. All right, and it was at 57 cents. That means $5.70. $6 is a 10x, and when you got millions of dollars in something, you take a 10x without thinking. So they're going to dump hard, probably like $6 to $8. Because again, that's like over a 10x for them. The market makers, the funds that bought the lows, the retail traders who go in with size and buy the lows. Always think, what's your position compared to the best position, right? Because the best position is to buy it at 50, 60 cents. If you bought it up here at 150, understand you're not in the best position, but you're still in a position to make money if you can get out with the whales. You got to swim with the whales, basically, and understand the currents. Mike B, 1800. He says, let's effing go. Tau, Rio on fire. Tau and Rio are on fire. Some of those nice altcoins that we hold, Mike B. And this is why it's good to pick winners, because when the recovery happens, when you're in the winners, they move hard. Rio, 100% from its lows just a few weeks ago, back above $1. Again, very obvious in hindsight how this stuff works. It's really kind of hindsight, man. It's crazy. Hindsight. All it did was just come back to the origin of its pump. That's all it did. Weeks, 6 months of bleeding out. All it did was just come back to the origin of its rocket ship pump higher. So simple. The market's so simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. But yeah, Rio's on fire, Tau's on fire. Waiting on a few of these other ones to pick up. And I'd like to see Cat hold this midline channel and push to the high at like 5 cents again. Sundog rejecting from its Monday low. Nairo looking for this breakout as well. Anyways, we got Sheriff in the building saying, hey, Connor, let's go, legend. What's going on, my man? Good to have you here. Any word from Treble? Treble will be launching soon. I need to check up with them, but they're basically waiting for base to come back in bullish market conditions. But again, the product's fully live, but for their token generation, they're waiting for the opportune time, which I don't blame them for. So yeah, should be out soon enough. We got Black Lotus. How much time do we have left to DCA before things really start pumping, bro? I mean, I kind of answered this questions a bit earlier. Like, this is the time, man. It's either now or Maybe in a week prices will be down like 10, 20%. But after that, I really don't see much after that. Again, there's this scenario where Bitcoin gets rejected from 65K and it goes back to the low 50s. But that's what the bears want. I'm a bull. All right. Don't mistake it. You know, the bears want to see this rejected from here and come back down here and maybe do this and then go up. I'm past that. I'm content with how things are, and I want to see things rise from here. And just off of this market structure alone, it's, again, the probability is that we actually push instead of dump. So yeah, I'd say there's not really much time right now. Jazzy in the building saying greetings, legend. What's going on, Jazzy? Glasshopper asking for a Brett buy level. Okay, so a Brett buy level. Look, for Brett, it's in a pretty critical spot, right? Because listen, basically, if you look at what Crash's analysis is saying, right? This is Crash's coin. So obviously he's going to put out some bullish analysis for it. But he says that this is the double bottom here. You got the 1-2 double bottom, and it's going to just pump from here. And it's certainly setting up for something like that. You can't deny it. All right. But there is this kind of untapped demand area that sticks out like a sore thumb just below 500 million market cap. All right. Brett really only had one big pullback and it's pump higher. This is when all the FUD hit in April, May. This demand zone sticks out like a sore thumb. 520 mil, you know, down to like 300 mil market cap. Quite a wide range. So that's the buy zone for Brett. And again, Crash's analysis could very well play out here, especially if Bitcoin accelerates to the upside this upcoming week, which I do expect. And that this is the double bottom. You got the 1, you got the 2. Now you break the all-time high resistance trend line and you just pump from here. All right, this could happen. This would also be the third tap of that line. However, if we're going to wait for a buy zone, the buy zone is from 520 to like 300 mil. If you're scared to miss it, because again, there is the chance. Let's see. Let's take a measurement. All right, so you wait for 30% lower. You're waiting for 30% lower. But what if it does go to 20 billion from here? Like Crash says it will. Well, that's 25x. So there's a chance. I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is not financial advice. But there's a chance if you wait for this level down here, another 30%, you miss out on a 25x. Okay, so do with that information what you will. Make your own decision, which I know you always do, Glasshopper. You've been a long-time member here at Crypto Empire, long-time supporter. Very grateful to have you over here in the community. But this tweet kind of spells it out for you. Do you wait for that extra dip and miss the move? Of course, it could be the right move to wait for the dip, but you don't know. Vixter says we're going down. We got a bear. We got a bear and Vixter over here. And it could happen, right? I mean, this is a very steep trend line as well on the Bitcoin daily time frame. Could go down for sure in supply. I want to see it again. I got my alerts. My alerts are set here. 61,300, 60,750. I hope it comes down there. Trucker Steve, no problem, my man, Trucker Steve. Guys, I'm really behind on the chat today. I apologize. The live chat is really picking up really hard. My man, Miko. Good to see you here, buddy. Sorry I dug into you and called you a little bitch in yesterday's video, but I mean, you were acting like a little bitch, man. But see, you've come around. You know, I forgive you for your little outburst. It's okay. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's see. We got bullish on parade. Hope all is well. How's that hoppy looking? Which hoppy? The good one or the one that I bought that was the wrong hoppy? This looks like it does want to break bullish on parade. Similar to many other setups we've looked at here. Right, you have your daily resistance, 1, 2, 3. I mean, it looks like it's ready to break it, but I mean, 31 mil for this. I'm not going to play it personally, but it's a boys club narrative coin. Good pump. Christopher F. TA on AGC Argo coin. All right. So we're still below our mean. Again, that's at our daily 200 EMA. Very aggressive move here from 8 cents. Right, very aggressive move. You got a key pivot high. So this daily candle may close above this key pivot high here at 20 cents. And if it does, I would say it's probably going to quickly gap up and touch that daily 200 EMA. I mean, this thing was so oversold. Another 63% to the daily 200 EMA from current price. So very hard, aggressive uptrend right now in supply at resistance, however you want to call it, tapping your daily 100 simple moving average. I mean, maybe it does one of these little pullback and then bang, right? Maybe like 1-2 days of sideways. It looks like it wants to continue higher, right? Similar to many other AI coins right now, but very aggressive trending move right now. So I would not fade the strength. I'm just very curious how Bitcoin will react out of this supply zone to start the week ahead, right? You know, I have my long-term investments and, you know, I understand those. I've been holding them, some of them for over a year, right? Buying last September throughout the bear market, 2023, even longer, a few years. But the trader in me is only concerned about today and the week ahead. So I'm very, very curious how Bitcoin is going to react to start the week from the 65K supply zone. We got Topi Whales in the building. It says, good evening, Connor. Thoughts on Litecoin? I see it breaking out soon. I haven't checked on Litecoin in a long time, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, you're not wrong on that one, Topi. I agree with you, and I see what you're seeing. I mean, anybody can see this. It's quite obvious. I mean, very obvious kind of supply zone, resistance area. Again, whatever you want to call it. This level at 68 is actually the key, the most important level on the Litecoin chart. It's respected this level of support and resistance for years at 68 bucks. So strong weekly. So Litecoin is I've never had a good time like trading this in short time frames because the wicks are nuts. You can look at all the wicks. But if it's going to aggressively trend here and put in a big week, right? You have the start of it. You have one green week. You have the second green week that will end in 5 hours from now. So there's a chance we get the expansive move this week. And again, at least to our mean, which is at $71 right now, which is not far. 5%. Yeah, 5.6% to our daily 200 EMA. Yearly open as well. So this is underneath every key line, right? Your daily 200, your yearly open, your quarterly open. It's going to go up 100%, Topi, 100%. The question is whether it pulls back first or just goes straight from here. And I don't know, the way the market's been recently, it's been giving very small. Basically, at 8 p.m., if you see the price drop below the daily open to a key like line, you should have lines on your chart just to use for reference. If you just bid it, it reverses and then pumps later on in the day. So that's how I would be looking, right? We had our fresh daily open in 5 hours at 8 p.m. I would be looking for a test of one of these key levels. I like 66. Maybe you'll get 64. And I would look to ride that up to our yearly open and quarterly open for a short-term trade. Long-term, yeah, I mean, this thing's probably bottomed out and will go to a few hundred at least this cycle. Jasper. What's going on, Jasper? How are you? We got Victor. What's your TA on Arrow? My TA on Arrow is it looks quite good. Why is that? Well, you're flipping your most important level, the daily 200 EMA and the daily time frame. So I would say that it is basically telling you that a new trend is confirmed, right? This is done with its downtrend of lower highs and lower lows, right? The market structure shifted, started to accumulate higher lows here, and it needs to put in its first higher high past $1.05, but it looks like it's in a position to go ahead and do that. So I would be bullish. I'm bullish on Arrow, and I'd be looking to hop into this thing and just bidding this level, even the 12-hour 100, or is this the 300? Yeah, it's a 12-hour 300 simple moving average here. This blue one. So a lot of confluence here at this level. It is huge resistance, but in an uptrend, which I believe we have formed and we're now underway in an uptrend, resistance gets smashed through. So that's what I see here on Aerodrome. Shout out to Adrian Kent. Shout out to the Silva Dalla saying, what's going on, Empire fam? What a run on Boda the past couple of days. Millions on the horizon. Boda's back, folks. 565K market cap. I mean, I'm not really surprised, right? I did expect Boda to come back simply because of how strong, again, the community is. Like, they make some noise. So this chart looks really good. And yeah, we want to see continuation and back up into the millions in market cap. I see no reason why it won't or shouldn't happen. In terms of meme coins on based Yoda, it's like, it just makes perfect sense. So we want to see this continue to push. And talking about the election, again, 44 days away from this, 43 days and 13 hours, the Trump MAGA coin is extremely oversold. This thing's extremely oversold, guys. And it's now in my lower demand zone, all right, which has some significance. If there was ever a place to buy this, right, with like asymmetric risk reward, it's in this green zone. Really, it starts at like 150, 158, $1.58 down to $1. So it's not quite in it yet, but if there was ever a time to buy this for an asymmetric risk reward, it's basically right now, the Trump coin. So, and again, next week is 40 days before the election. That's when we expect these coins to start to move. I'm calling it. I'm calling bottom. I'm calling bottom on Trump here. We'll revisit this and see if I'm wrong, but I'm calling bottom on the Trump coin. I mean, below this, it's back at the bottom. Like, yeah, it's either this is now or never. So, I mean, you can, I mean, set a manual stop. You'll have to, trade this on Uniswap. So you have to sell it on your own. Say if price goes below, even though $1 might come, let's say price goes below like 75 cents, you just take the loss, right? You could play it like that, or you can just hold on, zero or hero. Up to you. It's your money. You do what you want. I would never recommend putting like a substantial amount of money into something. Sure, is like an asymmetric bet. You can zero or hero a meme coin, right? Throw a few $100 at it and be content with whatever happens. But if you're going to go into something with size, you should never zero or hero it. Anyways, I'm calling bottom on Trump here in this green bottom zone. 150 to $1. And then these all the polyfi coins have, I mean, Trump's the biggest one and it's getting destroyed. So same thing with all the other small ones, G Trump 130K, Maha as well, 80K. So nothing really happening on the political finance front yet. We're going to find out this week. We will find out. Guys, shout out to Florent 1980 as well as Dre. But Florent says, smash the like button or you don't deserve the emperor. Connor, do you have any DeFi tokens you like? Well, Florent, thank you, sir. DeFi tokens I like. Treble's coming soon, which I like. First V4 DEX on base. Will be the most efficient, the best DEX on base. So, I mean, sure, Aerodrome is like a safer pick. Moonwell. Let's see how Well is doing. Wow, this thing is moving very aggressively. All right, this is Moonwell, this is the DeFi kind of lending and borrowing thing on base. I have not looked at this in a long time. It's up 163% off the lows in a month, up 163%. This could be a play. I probably make some gains on it, right? A few multiples even back to the all-time high. So yeah, I would be looking at base DeFi. And for that, there's Treble Swap coming soon. There's Moonwell. There's Aerodrome. And, I mean, CRV, right? CRV took off from, let's go to this one. This is the chart that I follow here on CRV nowadays. CRV took off from 25 cents and, it's the biggest kind of DeFi player. So this too could be an option. Let's see. Austin Craig says, will the sentiment be that bearish for crypto as people anticipate if Trump doesn't win? Could we have a different scenario where it doesn't actually matter who wins? I believe so. I mean, look, Sleepy Joe won the 2020 election and we had a pretty crazy bull run in 2021. So I think it's kind of more based off of the global liquidity cycle. And going off of that, these are up years. These are years of good times. So yeah, we could have that scenario where even if the commie wins, we pump. Thoughts on Baby Doge and Bonk by Fiat Hater. All right, so Baby Doge got listed on Binance and it put in the cartel pump, just taking out that listing candle high. Now it's pulling back. We'll see what happens here on Baby Doge, but it's coming into this structure. So if it will continue, this is just a meme coin, Baby Doge. Nothing special about it. It just got listed on Binance, which is why it pumped so hard. But it's coming into... I feel like you got to be a bit more patient and wait. Wait a little bit more. Like in here. All right, so taking the high to the origin of this move, this pump. Right where I was looking at the Monday mid-range is the golden pocket, the fib, 61.8. So you can look to maybe short it down to this level and then look for longs here on Baby Doge. And then Bonk. So big red day on Bonk. Basically the daily open and then just straight red bar down. And we looked at WIF, right? We're very bullish on WIF. At least I am. Expecting the break of this red supply zone and a big pump. So, Bonk is kind of in a similar category. Both are down on the day. 6%, 7.5% respectively. So we want to be, I'm biased long, right? So I would be looking for long entries. And with that, okay, you're coming into the golden pocket right now. You have the 78.6 here. And then the Monday low with the 88.6. So I would be looking probably, if I wanted to trade Bonk, I would be looking between the Monday mid and the Monday low. Keep in mind, this is going to disappear at 8 p.m. tonight. There will be a new Monday zone forming. Monday range forming. But yeah, right now, if I was looking for longs, I mean, maybe I start nibbling at the golden pocket, but Monday mid and Monday low currently on the chart is where I see is opportune times to get in. That's, of course, playing like with perps, with leverage trading. If you're buying spot, I would say just buy it in this green. I believe Bonk is the only dog meme coin on Coinbase. So there's a good chance it pumps aggressively at some point in time this cycle. So if you just want to buy it spot, I would say just keep on buying it in this green box, which is, I believe, a weekly or daily fair value gap that I have labeled here. But that's what I see on Bonk. Let's see. Crypto Cobain, when's your fight, chief? Or when's your fight, chef? Hopefully early 2025. It's been 1 month exactly since I pulled my right shoulder out of the socket. It still hurts like crazy whenever I try to move it. I'm in physical therapy, so yeah, until that's sorted out, not really sure, but that's what I'm dealing with personally right now. It is what it is. It is what it is. Guys, smash up that like button if you're enjoying the stream. We got a super chat from Gabar Singh PT saying Phantom TVL is diminishing. What's your opinion? Well, I was never a big FTM guy. By the way, thank you for that super chat, my man. I was never a big FTM guy. And I don't know, I mean, people farming DeFi on Phantom, like, that's like really degenerate in my opinion. Where is this chain? All right. Phantom TVL is currently $100 million. I know Ansem's a Phantom shill, so I assume Andre, the founder, is paying him. With that, Phantom is one of the stronger coins currently. All right, kind of broke out of its bottom downtrend, right? Broke your daily 200 EMA. Now repricing to the upside. I wouldn't use Phantom for any DeFi. I wouldn't keep any value locked on that chain, but the chart right now is bullish. It has entered into this red supply area. And on the 4 hour, I mean, so notice it pulled back to its support. We've gone over these bearish divergences and how they play out a lot recently. So I shouldn't even have to fully explain it. But you have the 4 hour bearish divergence, right? You have the price making the higher high and the RSI making the lower low, showing underlying weakness. Now, typically what's going to happen, there's two things that can play out from here. If it's going to stay bullish, it will just come to this horizontal support, which it has done already, and this will hold, and it will just bounce and continue. But if the bearish scenario is going to play out, it breaks this support and it corrects, right? And in that case, we can have a nice correction. So that's what I see on the chart right now. If it's going to stay bullish, it will hold this support, plain and simple. But if this bearish divergence is going to fully play out, expect this to kind of come back down towards 50 cents. With that being said, that's short-term price action, long-term price action. Phantom always seems to pump. It did hundreds of X's in 2021. It will probably give you a few X's this cycle, but it's not something I'm interested in holding personally. We got another super chat from Bluff City Breaks. Could you give Moonwell on base a look? Well, thank you for the super chat, Bluff City. My man, we literally not too long ago just went over Moonwell and like fully went over it. So I would just tell you to rewind the stream slightly. But we literally just did a full TA section on Moonwell. So I appreciate the super chat. Long story short, this is one of the better DeFi plays on base, and we're expecting higher for it. Okay, so that's Moonwell. But yeah, if you want the full TA segment, go watch it not too long ago, maybe 15 minutes ago. And we got Dre giving a nice testimonial. He says, just want to take a moment to earnestly and with conviction say that this is the best crypto group available. Since 2021 through the end of 2024, the content gets better with age like a fine wine. Dre, you were one of the first people to ever support me on YouTube. And, you're still here, man. So I appreciate your support. Thank you. You're a real one. Thank you for saying that. Miko says, is Moneytar master at your level? I would say that, he talks a very big game, but I would say he's very good at what he does. And I'm not here to compare or anything like that. I would say he's very good. I also think I'm pretty damn good, but he's very good too. Anyways, guys, we've been live now for an hour and 15 minutes. Look, we'll be back tomorrow, Monday through Friday. We're streaming rain, snow, or shine. So don't worry. Don't worry that we're ending today's stream right now. We'll be back again tomorrow. All right, so subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss the next live stream. Like this live stream if you did enjoy it today or got something out of it. I appreciate all of your support. If you want to join the mastermind, go to cryptoempiremastermind.com. First link down below, and you can apply there. And you can see exactly what we're up to, exactly what I'm up to. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll be back again tomorrow with another live stream. This was the community live stream. It's a bit longer on Sundays throughout the week. We keep it a bit shorter just to go over the most critical information possible in the most easily digested way possible so that you can get about your day and still be well informed. Anyways, my name is Connor from Crypto Empire. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for being here. Hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Before we do that, we have to play our new ending intro, outro. Here we go.